Have you ever tried to sort through official updates, maybe from a government agency, and just felt completely lost?
Oh, definitely. It can feel like you need a decoder ring sometime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's tricky, especially when it's about something vital like, immigration status, where things can change so fast. You know you need the info, but wading through it all, it can be a lot.
You really can.
Well, today we're going to tackle just that. We're doing a deep dive into some pretty significant and very recent advisories and changes from USCIS, that's the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services.
Mm,
And we're basing this on reporting from just yesterday, actually, June 28th, 2025. We looked at articles in Times Now and the Times of India.
right. And our goal here, our mission for this deep dive is pretty straightforward. We want to cut through all that official language, pull out the really key pieces of information you need to know.
Yeah, make it understandable.
Exactly. Make sure you feel informed about these critical updates, but, without feeling totally overwhelmed. We'll aim for practical advice, crucial awareness, things that could genuinely affect you or people you know.
Okay, sounds good. So let's kick things off with something practical. An immediate update from USCIS that impacts how you get notifications from them.
Okay.
They are changing their text messaging phone number. This is, well, pretty fundamental if you rely on those texts.
Right. A lot of people do for case updates.
Totally. So let's get specific. The number they use right now is 468-311.
468-311.
Yeah, which spells out GOV 311 on a keypad. But, and this is the key part, starting July 1st, 2025, that number is changing.
Okay, so a new number to watch out for.
Yes, the new one is 872-466.
872-466.
And that one spells out USAIMM. USAIMM.
Ah, okay. That seems maybe a bit more intuitive. USA Immigration.
That seems to be the idea. USCIS actually said the reason for the change is to help people, more easily recognize that the message is really from them.
And not spam or some kind of scam attempt.
Exactly. Which, let's be honest, is a constant worry these days with texts. So the main action item for you, the listener, is pretty clear. Save this new number, 872-466, in your phone contacts.
Definitely add it. Label it clearly. USCIS updates or something.
Good tip. And just to be clear, what isn't changing is the kind of messages they'll send.
Right.
You'll still get your case status alerts, appointment reminders, all those usual notifications. They'll just be coming from this new number, 872-466, starting July 1st.
It sounds like a small thing, just a number change. But what's interesting here is how it reflects a bigger push, I think.
How so?
Well, it signals USCIS is really trying to tackle fraud and boost user confidence. Yeah. In this digital age, scams are everywhere.
Tell me about it.
So making their official communication unmistakable is, it's actually pretty crucial, especially for sensitive immigration stuff. It helps build that trust, ensures people don't ignore a vital message thinking it's fake.
That makes a lot of sense. A small change with potentially big impact on trust and clarity. Okay, so that covers the practical number change. But alongside of that news, USCIS issued something, well, frankly, more serious.
Mm-hmm. A different kind of advisory.
Yeah, an advisory with some really profound implications about who gets to stay in the U.S. This isn't just about phone numbers. This is about the conditions tied to your visa or green card.
Okay, this sounds important.
It is. The core message is that U.S. immigration authorities have stated very clearly that visas and green cards can be revoked under certain conditions.
So what are those conditions?
According to USCIS, it boils down to a few key things. Advocating for violence,
Okay.
endorsing or supporting terrorist activity,
Right.
or encouraging other people to do those things. These are the sort of red lines they've drawn.
Advocating violence, supporting terrorism, or encouraging it.
Yeah, that. And they put out a statement, the sources reported it. It reads, and this is pretty direct, "Coming to America and receiving a visa or green card is a privilege. Our laws and values must be respected."
A privilege, not a right. That's key phrasing.
Exactly. It continues. If you advocate for violence, endorse or support terrorist activity, or encourage others to do so, you are no longer eligible to stay in the U.S. The language feels very emphatic, doesn't it?
It absolutely is. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, like you said, that word privilege is central. This whole advisory serves as a stark reminder.
Yeah.
Staying in the U.S., holding that green card, it's a conditional privilege. It's not something guaranteed forever no matter what.
Conditional privilege. Okay.
Right. And the insight here, I think, is that they're not just looking at illegal actions you might take inside the U.S. They're looking at your expressed views, your alignment, or lack thereof, with what they define as fundamental U.S. values.
So it goes beyond just, say, committing a crime.
It seems so. It's about adhering to a certain standard of conduct, respecting the laws and values that acknowledges this privilege. And this standard is now being very clearly articulated and seems like it will be more strictly enforced, especially, and this is interesting, concerning online activity.
Ah, okay, so that brings us to the next point. Because here's a really striking detail from the reports. Your social media posts, they could potentially lead to your visa being revoked or denied.
Wow. Okay, that's huge. The digital footprint aspect?
Exactly. The sources specifically mention that social media activity is going to be closely monitored for new student visa applicants.
Which visa type?
Across the F, M, and J categories. So F is for academic study, M for vocational, and J covers exchange programs. Pretty broad range of students.
Right, covers a lot of international students.
And the consequence, it's severe. These applicants will be barred from studying in the U.S. if they're found to be supporting terrorist groups. And that's according to the State Department, the DOS, who actually issue the visas.
Okay, so the State Department is enforcing this at the application stage for students based on social media.
That's what the reports indicate, yes.
This really raises an important question, doesn't it, about this whole landscape of our digital lives.
How so?
I mean, how our personal expression online, things we might think are just posts or shares, can have these incredibly serious real-world consequences for something like immigration status.
Yeah, the lines are blurring.
Completely blurred. The takeaway isn't just, be careful online. It's more profound. Your digital footprint, everything you put out there, is now effectively part of your immigration profile.
Wow.
It's subject to scrutiny. It can directly impact your ability to enter or stay in the U.S. That's a major shift, adding another layer to what they consider.
It really underscores the permanence of what we do online.
Absolutely. The permanence and the need for real mindfulness about what you're posting, sharing, liking, endorsing. It all potentially matters now in this context.
Okay, so let's quickly summarize the key takeaways from this deep dive then. Two main things from USCIS recently.
Right.
First, that practical bit. The new text message number is 872466. Starts July 1st. You absolutely need to save that in your contacts if you rely on their texts.
Crucial practical step. 872-466. USAIMM.
Got it. And second, the much heavier topic. The visa and green card revocation advisory. Remember, advocating violence, supporting terrorism, these can jeopardize your eligibility to stay.
A stark reminder of that conditional privilege.
And critically, the linking of this to social media monitoring, especially hitting new F, M, and J student visa applicants right now.
The digital footprint matters.
So our goal today was really just to give you a clear, sort of concise handle on these changes. They're critical updates. They directly impact people.
Yeah.
And just being informed, truly aware, is probably your best asset in navigating all this.
Absolutely. And maybe it leaves us with a final thought to chew on.
Oh, what's that?
Well, in this age where communication is instant, right?
Yeah.
And we express ourselves constantly online, almost without thinking sometimes.
Yeah.
What does it really mean to understand and respect the, let's call them, boundaries of legal status or that conditional privilege within a host country?
That's a deep question.
It is. How does this kind of advisory, especially the social media part, reshape our idea of individual responsibility, particularly when you think about how permanent our online actions can be? It's definitely something for anyone involved in the immigration process or thinking about it to seriously consider.